This is the 1978 FJ40 Land Cruiser, which was built by us, Fearless FJ40. This car has just hit the market. It's currently for sale. You'll see a link to the listing for the car below. But I'm going to talk you through a bit about the story of this car. This actually is my personal vehicle that I've owned for the past several years. And so I know the car inside out, and it is sad to see it go, but I'm also bringing in more projects now. So it's time to let this beautiful Nebula Green 1978 FJ40 go now. And so I'm going to talk you through a little bit. So it was a full body off restoration in 2019, 2020. Bare metal. We stripped it apart. We take all the panels apart. We lift the body. The chassis was blasted and it was primed and it was repainted. Every nut and bolt pretty much was taken off at the time of the restoration and put back together. We've replaced hardware where we've needed to, such as OEM bolts on the windscreen here. These are actually Toyota bolts, and we've matched original spec bolts on the other door hinges and things like that. And of course, in rebuilding it, we always use OEM Toyota lights, fog lights, Koito halogen front headlights. We've got the bezel here with the Land Cruiser font, which actually was from an earlier model, but we like the look of that, so we've kept that on there. Basically, at the time, it was a 1-year rebuild, so it went through a full kind of year through our workshop, and a lot of attention to detail was paid in the restoration of this car, which I hope you'll see as we kind of go through the details of the car. Put together, engine was stripped apart, and we didn't need to rebuild the engine. We compression tested it, and the internals were in great condition. It's supposedly covered 160,000 kilometers in its life, although we can't verify that for sure. But the 4.2 liter Toyota straight six 2F engine is known for basically being a solid bulletproof engine. So it's running the 2F engine in there, which we'll look at in a sec, and we'll start and we'll hear it. In terms of little optional upgrades that we've done to the car, and these are some of the things that we do with some of our models. Braking wise, we've put a vacuum servo in there, so you've got boosted brakes. It still retains the original drum brakes front and back, and we find that when the drum brakes are properly serviced, we've replaced wheel cylinders. In fact, in preparing the car just recently for sale, we've stripped apart all of the drum brakes. We've replaced several wheel cylinders. The shoes are less than a year old now. And when they're set up correctly and they're adjusted correctly, and you're using a servo, you actually don't need disc brakes, and you'll see that when you drive the car. So occasionally we will fit front disc brakes, but on this one we've kept it original, and the braking performance is actually, I would say, quite strong on this. It's quite good. We're running Bilstein suspension, front and back. It's got the stock leaf spring set up, but we've changed the shackles and the bushings just to give the car a slightly higher ride height. But we're running Bilstein's original leaf springs, which were restored at the time. What else have we optioned on this car? It's got power steering from an FJ60 Land Cruiser. So the steering is very comfortable. It's got power steering, so that helps. And what else we run? It's got AC, so we're running a Denso full air conditioning system in here for these hot summers like we've been having this year. It's nice to have AC, and it's cold. I mean, the AC is nice and cold, which is great. Let's walk around the car a little bit and see some of the details. We've obviously got fog lights up front, which is quite nice. So we are running 16-inch steel wheels, which were original Toyota spec. We've got about a 32-inch all-terrain tire, and we've got front locking wheel hubs here as well. So when you're off-roading, you jump out and you switch them into lock, and you've got four-wheel drive. It has a dual front dampening system as well, so we've got 2 front shock dampeners for the steering. So off-roading capacity is helped out by having that. And we've also recently stripped apart the steering idler. So the car will come with an MOT. which I think very few people tend to want to do on FJ40 Land Cruisers because they don't want to open a can of worms. We always like to get our cars MOT'd, and the car actually failed its MOT its first time round, and partly the main reason was due to the steering idler having too much play. We've stripped that apart, we've assessed the internals, and we've put it back together and greased it. And so now there's less play in the front steering idler, and it should hopefully get its way through the MOT, as well as a few other things that we've rectified, which were kind of oversights, such as a bolt missing in the seat, and the steering column needed to be secured. So we've done all of that. We do like to give our cars with a full MOT for peace of mind, really, to show that the car has been properly prepared for modern day driving. Let's walk around, have a little closer look at some of the details. Obviously all the emblems we use are OEM, Toyota. These are original at the time of restoration. It is a 5-year-old restoration, and so what I will say is that the paintwork, whilst it looks, it presents really well and is stunning, it's not without faults. It does show signs of being a 5-year-old car. It has been parked outside at times. It's mostly been dry stored in my ownership. There's been periods of a few weeks here and there where it's been outside and it's caught some of the English weather. And it shows some minor marks which will kind of show in a few places and joins. There's a few areas where lines are opening up. It's not rust, but there's small evidence of just a little bit of the paint coming up in places. So full transparency about the condition of our cars. This is not a brand new commission. This is a car that's been driven. I've owned it. It's been fully serviced and recommissioned. And I'll talk a bit more about some of the work that's been done mechanically in a sec. Let's have a look on the inside of the car. One of the things that was really rare about this car is that it had the original factory vinyl on the seats. And so in some of our cars, we tend to retrim them in leather. But because that is the original Toyota factory vinyl, and it's in fairly good nick, we decided not to go ahead and retrim that. But we have made these cool kind of carpets, which you can see, this kind of textured seagrass carpet to overlay the base vinyl. You can see we're running Denso AC. There is currently an audio system in the car with Bluetooth, an amplifier, a small subwoofer, and 2 rear speakers. I'm currently having some issues with that, and I'm going to try and troubleshoot that prior to sale, but it is there and it is equipped with that. It's running the original 3-speed gearbox, long ratios, so you're kind of going up to 40 miles per hour in second gear, and then you're going into third and you're cruising at 55. And on the motorway, I'm pushing no more than 60, to be quite honest with you, in this car. And you're having a great time going along at 60 miles per hour. You don't feel the need to go faster than that. You don't really want to go faster than that. This is a car that's capable off-road, but it's also fun to cruise around on country roads, and it will sit on the motorways. And I've done some good mileage in this car in the last few months, getting it prepped for sale. And it's in great mechanical condition. So the original knobs, wiper, choke, headlight switch, the speedo is obviously original, and it's showing somewhere around, let's have a look, 64,000 kilometers. I believe that's gone through once, so I believe it's 164,000 kilometers that this car's done. So that's not too bad. Let's have a look at the rear of the car. Spare tire obviously is the same, Maxxis all-terrains, which I think is a good tire. We've used them on a few of our models, and they ride well. They're good on the road, and they're decent on kind of like tame off-road settings. I've never taken this car on extreme off-roading trips, and I'm sure its future buyer probably won't do that, but you could. Probably won't. Let's get the key and open up the back. We'll take a look at the back as well. You open this here, you swing this big old tire out, pop this door open, and you can get in the back here. We've gone with the same seagrass carpet in the back to match the front. Again, original vinyl on the rear seats, new retaining straps on the seats as well, and original Toyota tool bag, which is quite nice to go with the car. And so, as you can see, it's a FJ40. It's quite a short wheelbase, but there is enough room to get 4 people in the back, which is quite nice. And it's quite a high head height in there, so you can also load it full of stuff, which is quite cool. But as with all of our projects, we try to retain the essence of the car. So we upgrade the car with what we think are sensible driver's aids, such as power steering and servo brakes, and obviously we mechanically refresh things at the time of restoration, which included new brake lines and obviously the brakes have been completely overhauled. Power steering I mentioned, and AC and a few creature comforts, but otherwise we pretty much keep the car stock, which is quite nice. All right, let's close this up. So, as you know, the car was restored 2019-2020. I've owned it for quite a few years. In the past 2 to 3 months, though, it's been gone through extensively to replace and refresh anything that needed to be replaced. So part of that involved putting a brand new petrol tank in, which is an underseat tank here on the 70s models up until 79. I think it was halfway through the 79. We had tanks under the seat, and then from sort of 79, 80 onwards, tanks went underneath the car. It's got a brand new tank here. It's actually not a steel tank. It's a type of, I don't know what they call this material. It's not plastic, but it's a type of composite material, effectively, and it does not rust. So that's quite nice. So there's a brand new tank in there that won't rust. There was a new sender unit in there at the time. We have replaced the handbrake cable and serviced the parking brake because the MOT found that it was inefficient, and so the parking brake cable needed to be replaced, which is a brand new cable. As I said, the brakes have been fully taken apart, wheel cylinders replaced, adjusted, put back together, brakes bled, and so now the brakes are in tip-top shape. Walking over to the business end of the beast, we had several things were just refreshed in the course of just going through the car. Clutch, flexible pipe going to the slave cylinder was replaced. Obviously we've done a full oil change on the car, oil filter, spark plugs. The radiator was fine, so we haven't replaced the radiator, but the radiator hoses were replaced. So you've got brand new Toyota top and bottom, plus the coupler that connects the 2 hoses has been replaced. And as I say, the engine is running really well and is in great shape. So that's probably all I need to say about this 1978 FJ40 Land Cruiser. If you've stuck this far into this video, probably means that you're going to buy this car, right? Maybe not, but hey, check it out. It's for sale. It'll be on Car and Classic, on eBay, my website, fearlessfj40.com, the Instagram at fearlessfj40. You can get in touch. You can come have a look at the car, and I think its new owner will be very pleased with keeping this in the garage.